Well, what comes to my mind is we're only halfway there. So we still have the House, and we shouldn't take that for granted. We have a wonderful process, but we're about halfway there, Governor, and I hope we'll be here in a couple of weeks to celebrate the completion of this work with Representative Eli, which began last year. We didn't get and Representative Garrett, ready to take again, well, too. So let's keep working. I'm one of those guys I learned a long time ago, you don't stop running until you cross the goal line, right, Howie, the coach? So we'll continue to do that. I think that it's important to recognize a few things. One is Representative Eli, Senator Worth, and I, we're so privileged. We have really one of the best law firms in the state of New Mexico right here. And I say that as a guy who thinks that I've got one of the best law firms in the state of New Mexico. But when you're up here, we're working with an incredible team of attorneys. This is complicated, this constitutional law, the stuff that you and I probably hated the most back in law school. But that's what we're dealing with. And so I'll just echo what many of you all have already heard me say. I never had to drop my daughters off at school, and that was my job. I got to do that every morning. I never had to drop them off wondering whether they were at risk or that was going to be the last time I see them. But too oftentimes parents today have to worry about that, and we have to do everything we can to try and eliminate that as much as possible. So thank you for asking me to join you along. I think most of you all have heard that a big part of the reason this is at times somewhat emotional for me is the El Paso experience. Some of my dear friends were very involved throughout that process and continue to be very involved. In fact, this is not a plug. Our law firm is actually suing one of the social media organizations that was responsible for posting some of the manifesto information. So we're doing everything we can, fighting this at every level we can, Governor. And today's a good start in the fight here in New Mexico. Thank you.
There's been a lot of opposition to this bill from a lot of the county sheriffs. They even suggested that there could be a court challenge if it is signed into laws. Do you, I'm not sure who wants to answer, but do you believe this would stand up if it is, challenged in court?
With certainty. Yeah, Colorado's bill just became effective the first part of this year. Colorado's red flag bill became effective January 1. It's already working. It's already being used. You've already had one individual subject to an order voluntarily turn his firearms. The sheriffs and the same organizations opposing us here have threatened to, or the sheriffs have all said they're not going to enforce the laws in Colorado. There are already recall efforts against those sheriffs in Colorado. New Mexico sheriffs should have something better to do than to try and fend off recall elections in the state.
I would just say focus on Senator Cervantes' closing argument. That was the expert witness for the NRA who was going through each element of this bill and stating this is what has to happen for the bill to be responsible and to be lawful. And I just think that was incredibly powerful to me, and it shows the work that went into getting this right.
Agreed.